The recovery of 60 mortar in Punjab, in Gurdaspur, from that building where 3 Pakistani terrorists were holed up for 11 hours engaging the security forces. India Today's deputy editor Sandeep Unnithan joins me with the latest on that story. Sandeep, tell us more. Did the terrorists cross over the IB carrying this 60 mortar, or did they have local support?
Well, Gaurav, it's hard to say at the moment, but what our sources are telling us is that this mortar was recovered from the building where the terrorists were holed up and when they were finally eliminated. And it's extremely unusual for a weapon of this sort to be recovered from terrorists. There has been no recent precedent, at least, of this kind of a weapon being recovered from terrorists. They're usually armed with assault rifles and UBGLs, grenade launchers, but never a mortar. So this is extremely unusual, and it possibly points to there being another aspect to this whole plot, because as you know...
It indeed does. And what is very strange in this case, Sandeep,
yes,
a mortar inside a building, it could not even be fired, and they had only one round. So
that's right.
Were they saving this for another occasion? Were they saving this for another target? Did they want to enter this part of Hiranagar police station, Dinanagar police station? Or were they trapped in here when the police retaliated, when 3 Home Guard went down?
Well, absolutely, Gaurav. I mean, the fact is that this mortar cannot be used from inside a building. As you know, it's an indirect fire weapon, which means that it goes in a semicircular arch. It has a trajectory. It cannot be fired from inside a building. So it clearly points to the fact that they were possibly not headed for the police station. They were heading for some other place where they intended to use this weapon. Because let's not forget that Dinanagar is about 20 kilometers from the international boundary. And for terrorists to carry a weapon this heavy, it's almost 10 kilos, to carry a weapon this big from the international border all the way to this Dinanagar obviously points to some other larger conspiracy which is yet to be established.
And that is that big story, terrorists carrying 60 mortars. Now we must tell our viewers at this stage, how does a mortar fire? Now mortar is an area destruction weapon. It's a long tube, 10 kgs is the weight of a 60 mortar. It is an indirect fire weapon. It fires on a trajectory, does not fire straight like a bullet. Those are visuals. That is how a mortar fires. This is how security forces, especially the army and the BSF, use a mortar. A long tube, you just put the shell inside, it automatically fires and goes up to a distance, not very far, but very high. An airburst mortar causes immense damage. It can kill any number of people, between the number of people who are there, with shrapnel falling from the skies. And Sandeep, terrorists using mortars is unheard of, especially in this part of the country.
That's correct, Gaurav. As you know, these mortars are being used by Pakistan to target our forces on the line of control and on the international border. So it's extremely unusual for this to be found in the hands of terrorists. And as we know, the 61 mortar is the one that's used by the Pakistan armed forces. They're not used by either the army or the BSF. So it very clearly points to Pakistani origin.